Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. When it comes to Black Ops 7, of course, I'm sure you're going through, you're leveling up, you're working on your ultimate prestige grind here. And of course, every single time you prestige, you get a permanent unlock token available to you. So you can unlock any item in the game to have regardless of level. So if you want to take whatever you unlock in some of the later stages at level 50, 51, so on and so forth, and have them available right away at level 1, you can do so. There's also a handful of things that you unlock later on in the game that really aren't that advantageous to you, and you probably don't want to waste a permanent unlock token on them. And so today, I want to go through and break down what exactly you should be keeping an eye on when it comes to using your permanent unlock tokens here. So I've prestiged a couple of times. I'm currently going through Prestige 2 as it stands. And as you can see, if you go through in your progression menu after you do Prestige, you'll have your level unlocks tab available with the permanent unlock tokens. So you can go through and you can see exactly what is unlocked at every single level in the game, and you can pick and choose what exactly is valuable here. Now, first up, really, you level up rather quickly in this game, especially if you're doing well in game. You also have double XP tokens you can pop and everything, and so you're gonna get through these first few levels here rather quickly. Really, I would say you probably don't have to worry about anything from level 15 and earlier as far as like your permanent unlock tokens go, unless there is something you absolutely want to have right away. Like if you're super big into fast hands or a Semtex, then you could use a permanent unlock token on this stuff, but you're going to get to level 12 super fast. Same deal like 14, 15. Really, up until this point, you're probably better off saving your permanent unlock token for something beyond this. And it's not like every single level is going to have something really vital to unlock, but there are a few things that you might want to look into here overall. So for instance, the first main thing that I'd personally be looking at is going to be overkill here at level 20, the ability to have a primary and a secondary weapon available. And of course, if you want to actually use your permanent unlock token, for instance, on PlayStation here, you're using a PlayStation controller, you just press your left trigger on there and that'll give you that permanent unlock token and activate that. Then I have overkill available right away at the start when I end up prestiging, so I can have my primary and my secondary fully available there. So that is certainly one that I would keep an eye on in general. At level 21, funny enough, there's another one that I'd keep an eye on, and that is going to be the stim shot. The stim is so strong here in multiplayer, being able to manually regen your health right away, and especially once you get your overclocks there. If you were a fan of the MW 2019 stims and how you got that movement boost and you could sort of break cameras and use that in engagements, this stim, when you overclock it to, I believe it's level 2 here, you get that movement boost as well. So that's something that I absolutely have to run on all my loadouts, and something that I'm strongly considering using my current permanent unlock token on once I go through and I prestige again, because I just got them unlocked again. It's like, yeah, I use this every game. The first few games I want to have my stims back, also because I've got the muscle memory, and so if I get shot sometimes when I'm like level 8, I'll just start spamming my concussion because I'm trying to stim and I accidentally throw that instead. So overkill, the stim shot, two things that absolutely keep my eye on as far as using your permanent unlock token goes. As you continue to go through, of course, it's not going to be the same for everyone. Not everyone is going to love the Watchdog Helo, but if you like that and that's a streak you love to use, you absolutely could find value in using a prestige token here. There's not always going to be a universal, you have to use your prestige token on this, but there are obviously some ones that are maybe a little bit more important than others. For instance, at level 29, the Gunfighter wildcard, being able to get 8 attachments on your gun as opposed to 5. If you're doing camo challenges, this is another pretty important one because some of the camo challenges, your specials, do require you to use Gunfighter. So if you prestige and you're working on your camo challenges still, you're on a gun that needs that, well, if you're not level 29 in that prestige, you're kind of hard stuck waiting to hit that, and you can't progress any camo challenges further. So that's certainly another one that I think could be pretty advantageous to unlock earlier on. Level 30 as well, the HKDs, the Hunter Killer Drones. This is one of the strongest streaks in the game. If you're big into the lethals, that could be one worth using a prestige token on as well. And by the way, as we are going through all the levels here, the things you want to look out for your tokens in specific, if you guys enjoy the video, if you guys find this information helpful, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It's always seriously appreciated. It does really help grow the channel as well. And if you're new here, you want to make sure you're always in the know for everything going on in COD. This is the place to be. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. The next thing I'd keep an eye on here is level 33 perk greed. I've actually already used one of my permanent unlock tokens on this. I gotta have perk greed. I love having 4 perks on my setups. That way I can use my enforcer stuff that I need for the movement to make my gunfights feel a little bit smoother, but then I can also stack that 4th perk on there, get a strategic bonus there in some capacity, whether you're mixing matching enforcer and strategist, or enforcer and recon, or the blue perks, whatever it's called, right? You can get those crossovers and get those perk specialties, or those combat specialties, and use the individual perks that are really important to you. So it's fast hands, it's engineer in some cases. If I'm going for like my launchers and stuff, I can still keep my core perks that I need in every tier, but to get that extra one that might help for a specific challenge or for just global gameplay. Perk greed and gunfighter, I think, are the 2 most important wild cards here, and ones that I'm for sure using my permanent unlock tokens on there. Another one that I've personally used a permanent unlock token on is a lightweight at level 45. I feel like this is a pretty important perk for enforcer and for general gameplay, especially if you're big into the movement here. And level 45, gonna take some time to get all the way back to that every single prestige. So if that's a core element of your gameplay, you notice you are more efficient, you're more effective in gameplay when you have this as a perk equipped, you definitely probably want to save yourself some time and just have this available outright, so you don't have to go through 45 levels every single prestige. And truthfully, here, as we're about at level 40, this is probably where you want to pay attention to everything that's unlocked on any given level, because it's going to take some time to get to these ranks here. And while yes, obviously it takes more XP to get from 45 to 46, then from 47 to 48, so on and so forth, you're still going to be able to go through and level up relatively quickly. If you're still doing well, you're not going to spend a ton of time from level 45 to 55 before you can prestige again. So if you're trying to get things done on some of these higher unlock guns, like the Carbon 57, for example, like the M34 Nova line, just purely out of what's on the screen here, it might be worth using a permanent unlock token on some of these later unlocks. Like, for instance, I did go through, because at level 55, just behind the face cam here, the MPC 25, aka the MSMC, I wanted to have that available right away, because even though I haven't leveled it too much right now, this is something that if I want to work on camos for it, if I want to progress it and level it up, at level 55, I'm going to use it for 1 level and then prestige. Then I'm going to lose access to it again until I'm all the way back up at 55. That's not super convenient. That's not the most effective. So that is something I'd also be mindful of for like the individual weapons and everything here. The Harp, though, again, a really strong score streak, getting the advanced UAV at 47. That's a standout to me. That's something I'd keep my eye on there as well. And then my one last takeaway at 53 is going to be the specialist wild card. You can tell sort of the theme here. The most important things when it comes to the permanent unlock tokens, in my opinion, are going to be wild cards. It's going to be certain perks, and then a few streaks and a few weapons here and there. Those are the main things that ultimately are going to have the largest impact on your gameplay, and especially with some of these that just take so long to get to because they are in the later stages, in the later levels, you're just not going to get a ton of time to actually play with these and actually use these unless you do use those permanent unlocks on some of these options. Of course, there will be a lot of individual stuff. You might love the Peacekeeper, you might love the active camo field upgrade, so you're going to go for that, whereas most players maybe would look elsewhere because that's not a part of their gameplay, for example. So there is no objectively correct answer for your weapon prestige tokens, but there's also no wrong answers for an individual case-by-case basis. There are certainly some standouts that I consider to be very strong and worth spending that prestige token on. And obviously, as you're going through and you eventually get to prestige 3, 4, 5, 6, as you're climbing all the way up to prestige master, you'll have more and more things permanently unlocked. So then it makes the decision a little bit easier. You know, those first few prestiges where you only have a couple of prestige tokens available, that's where it's maybe a little bit more tough. Oh, do I really want specialist here, or would gunfighter be more advantageous, or do I really need the MSMC or the MPC, whatever it's called, right? So it's a little bit trickier up there, but hopefully this video helps you narrow down your decisions a little bit more and try and weigh exactly what is worth using these unlock tokens on exactly. But that's gonna wrap things up. If you guys did enjoy the video, you did find it helpful, do me a favor and drop a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button on your way out as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.